That's one thing that has kind of kept us true to ourselves is we don't have a huge market research team that goes out to find what like the perfect, everybody's gonna like this kind of beer. We're still kind of just brewing beer to what we like to drink. And then our hope is just, oh, enough people like this to tag along and ride with us. So today at the Hines Road Brewery, we're going to be brewing our Skelena Oatmeal Cookie Stout. It's a really cool beer. It's inspired by oatmeal cookies, but it's a nice, awesome, traditional American style stout, nice and roasty. It's got some lactose and oats to add some creaminess to it. Yeah, it's a cool beer. We do it in the wintertime. This is the second year brewing it, so nice wintertime seasonal. We're kind of a small team here, just a couple of us, but we opened up in 2013 out in Coralville, and we're now here at our cool Iowa City spot downtown. I got a passion for this home brewing back in college and knew the guys that were opening up Reunion and kind of lucked out getting the job here. Lived in Iowa City since going to school. I'm from Iowa, you know, native here. And yeah, learned home brewing from my dad and just kind of got lucky and was able to take it on as like a actual full-time job.
We have 2 locations, technically 3. So 2 locations are retail locations where we have beer, food for sale. So the Iowa City Tap Room where we're located right now. Then we have our Coralville location on the Coralville Strip. And then we have our Hines Brewery production facility. It's a 30,000 square foot facility where we have a 30-barrel system. Our other locations, this location has a 5-barrel system and Coralville is a 7-barrel system.
We have a wide range of styles. We have 5 core beers that we keep year-round. Pilsner, a West Coast IPA, a hazy IPA, hazy pale ale, and then also another lower ABV pale ale. Really, they're great. I've never had a bad beer here at Reunion.
One thing I'm most proud about our restaurants and brewery is that everything is house-made. We make our ranch, some of the best ranch you'll ever have. We make our blue cheese dressing, also exceptional, goes well with the wings. But then we have our own pasta, and Vinny, who's been making our pasta since the 70s, is an awesome guy. He's worked for our company for 40 or 50 years now. So even our chef, he doesn't want to be a quote unquote burger flipper. So we have great burgers, but we mix them with fresh baked buns that we get from our sister company, Bread Garden. It's just like, it's those people who stay with us for decades and are proud to be working with us. That makes me feel proud to be a part of this business that fosters that kind of longevity.
One thing that really separates us, I think, is our relationship with John, our artist. He's our sole graphic designer. He's a comic book artist by training. This whole tap room's decked out in art that he hand drew. All this stuff, he set up a little art studio in the brewery at Hines Road for basically a year and we were brewing and he was painting every day. Like, it's really cool. Reunion exists within his comic book universe, which is cool, and it's definitely inspired the naming of beers and the style of beers, like Skelena, obviously.
He creates some wacky art and then, you know, some pretty classic art. And I think the wacky art, the neat thing is there's actually stories in it, whether it's the tank puncher and how the brewers came up with that, because they're like, hey, do you want to punch a tank later, which is, you know, drink way too much beer. Or tank puncher, the referee in that picture is actually Jim, my husband. His face is in the picture.
It's awesome because it's so eye-catching. It kind of brings everybody together once they're in here.
The merch side of things is super important for us. You know, we want to be dressed in cool clothes that represent what we're doing here. We're always out interacting with customers out at beer fests or out in the market, in our own tap rooms too, hanging out with staff and all that. So it's a way to reflect that culture that we've built here and get those kind of characters and all that out into the wider world. You know, it's cool to see our beer on the store shelves, but when I'm walking around and I see somebody wearing a Reunion hat or dressed in a Reunion shirt, I'm just like, oh, cool. That guy like likes our stuff enough that he's actually like decking himself out in it. Like it's I don't know, it's a pretty cool thing to see.
I think anytime you can get your brand out there, get customers in your brand, that's a big deal. It also speaks to the atmosphere you're creating at the business. So someone comes here and they have a good time and they liked it so much, they want the shirt.
It's great to see customers wearing the Reunion branded apparel locally and non-locally as well. I'll run into people from Cedar Falls, Dubuque, Muscatine wearing a Reunion shirt. It's pretty cool to see.
Our experience working with Adcraft, the guys have been nothing but communicative about pricing, sizing, delivery, and very fast. You know, we needed a fast turnaround when we did our first order because we wanted to have it by the first home game, and they totally delivered. Literally, they brought it to the store. One thing is quality in the product. Like, there's no strings hanging out over there. We haven't had any shirts that come with holes or bad stitching, and that's one thing we've been really happy with working with Adcraft.